Eh?
Recording started.
Fucking hell, man.
What the hell? What the heck?
Can you hear that?
I can hear that.
Gross. Get rid of that. It's terrible.
Now we got to deal with two of him. Fuck.
He finally did what we've always wanted him to do. He can fuck himself. We are coming in hot here on the Winnipeggers, and why wouldn't we be? Because it's the 40th anniversary of the Winnipeggers.
Oh, that's true. Holy shit. I mean,
that was the 40th show.
Of course we remembered.
40th show. Yeah, exactly. I was going to get you guys something, but I decided not to. But welcome. Can you believe we've been doing this for freaking 40 shows? People are still watching.
People are still watching. We have the family. They tune in, and we want to say a big shout out. We couldn't do it without you guys. I didn't realize that. Well, it makes sense because we were just looking at the 39th episode last week, but I didn't realize that it's the big 40.
What comes after 39, Dave?
I know, right? It's the mathematics. It's really something, but we couldn't do it without you guys, although we still would. We still be here.
Seriously, cheers to the family. Yes. Everybody out there watching, we really appreciate you guys, and we really thank you for making this into a success. We all got a paycheck this week, which is very rare here on the Winnipeggers. We can barely figure out how to do it
per episode.
About 50 cents, I think.
Yeah,
I had $2.12 when I did my first book. A Lion's Tale, available for 99 cents on Kindle right now, which is true. It's like the bargain bin of the internet. It took me so many hours to do it, and when I divided it by the money that I made from it, I literally made $2.13 an hour to write that book. Anybody who thinks that you're going to get rich off of that stuff, forget about it.
No
it's
shit.
Not going to happen.
Ribo's still paying off a drum set from 1990.
But welcome to the Winnipeggers. It's great to be here. And Dave, you were saying earlier that you went to the hill today. You went to the mountain, did a little skiing.
I did. Yeah, it was nice. It was fairly dead. The snow was very soft. A little bit sticky. You come near the bottom, and it was a little bit of a pain in the ass. But I just got back.
Hold on, it's a little bit sticky when you come in the bottom. What the hell are you talking about? What kind of skiing did you do?
I don't know, man.
Was it white?
I would
too?
take my finger and I would put it in the snow, and it was like wet and cold and very slushy. So that's how you have to check it. That's a little pro snowboarding tip. One thing I will. Well, I don't want to get into something that I can't finish right now. I just
we really have no
play the music
order here.
Play the music.
We pretty much just
put the
do
rant
whatever
up.
we want. All right. Well, if you guys wanted it, it's 40th anniversary. We're going to go in. There's no set way to do things. We do whatever the hell we want.
That's right.
Right here on the 40th anniversary.
He's really pissed. It's excellent. Dave's Rant. Dave's Rant. Let's watch him lose his shit. Let's watch him lose his shit.
It's great.
On this snowboarding theme, I just got back. I can't stand skiers anymore at all. And I've been a snowboarder for 25 years probably now. And just the way they move and they get in the way, there wasn't a lot of people at the hill, but it still managed. That one lady managed me to basically eat slush, and came in really tight right in front of me, and it just drove me nuts. So that really bugged me.
They go back and forth, right?
Yeah, they're always just dancing around, and they do their dumb thing. And then, maybe I'll go closer to the tree line, and I'm coming down on a straight 90 degrees. Get out of the way, man. Like you should. I know there was a time when the snowboarders weren't allowed on the hill. In Whistler, they made a big deal out of it 30 years ago. I think it's time that the skiers got to go. You go cross-country ski. Just do that little stuff. Whatever. Beaudry Park. Have a little fun.
Planet of the Apes. The borders have taken over.
The borders should take over. I don't like meeting friends of friends. This is I know this is gonna sound like a real big complainer thing. Like people are gonna think, boy, this guy doesn't like anything. But do you think about when you're like Chris, like say that you're coming to town and then I don't know, Ajax has some friend. It's like, hey, this is my friend. It's like, oh yeah, great, nice to meet you. But you don't want to really hang out with them. You know, you don't want to talk to them. You don't, and it's also awkward because one of them will say something like, "Hey, bro, what's up?" It's like, well, I don't talk to people like that. Do I have to shake your hand now? Like, it's so weird. We're already not going to get along based on the 3 words that you say as you greet me, and trust me, yeah. And if you try too hard and stuff, it really bugs me. I hate that. There's one thing that's been irking me. Because something happened in the Dave Spivak project world, and I was really excited, and I'm gonna have to show it to the camera. There's a company that's on the internet now. You know, Ryan, you guys all know this. Like, you put out some music, and you got to promote it. You got to do your thing, and if you're not signed to a label, which then it's you're doing it on your own, and you do have a stage, Facebook and Instagram, so you have something that you never had before. But there's a lot of people trying to capitalize on your dream. There's a lot of people that are there that are saying, hey, Winnipeggers, we'd like to sit down and talk, but we never hear back from Rogers, do we? You know what I'm saying,
yeah,
right?
Well, we're still waiting.
A lot of carrots hanging over the Winnipeggers' head lately. But when it comes to the music thing, there's this company that's advertising on Facebook. I want to bury these guys. And they're called tzik.com.
What a stupid name.
It
Tzik.
is. Yeah, it's obviously from like
cheesedick.com.
Russia or somewhere. And cheesedick.com. And anyway, you submit your video, okay? And you send in your video, and then they say they got judges that look at it, and they might be interested in putting you on their satellite, in front of millions of people, this big satellite video machine or whatever the hell it is, right?
That's cool.
So it's like, okay, cool. So I sent in like 4 videos, and I got a response on one, and I was like, oh, wow. And I got really excited. Well, I didn't open it up right away. I went and had a shower, and I lit a candle. Like, I get really excited about things, and I don't want to jinx them. So I came down. I come down and I open it up and it says, congratulations, and it's just in the big capitals, which I can respond to, and I'm like, oh, cool, and you've been selected, and then it says, and here's the package deals, and I'm like, I'm almost having a heart attack, and then I scroll down, and it's like, package number 1. For $450, we'll play your song on our video satellite machine, whatever the hell it is. I don't even know what it is, but everybody be worried of Tzik and all these other scammers. And, I saw you on Instagram, and I think I can help you out, or you should come talk to me and spend money. There's a lot of that. They're trying to capitalize on our dreams. Rogers, you're no different. You've been screwing the Winnipeggers for 2 or 3 weeks. Gretzky, all you guys, you're banned. They're all a bunch of banned people that are going to be banned from the show. Gretzky, Rogers, you're banned. You're banned from Winnipeggers.
Wow, it's crazy because it's hard to keep up here because I have a graphic of my own made. Banned from the Winnipeggers. Willie Tyler and Lester. Golden earring. If you feel like you're being cloned, shut your mouth. Wayne Gretzky, especially that stupid pose you're making. Random Playboy model for not returning our cameo, and Hannah Ann Sluice returning our cameo as well. Definitely all banned from the Winnipeggers. And I will say this: let's just wait a little bit longer on Rogers just to make sure, because we've heard some rumblings, and there's some people there that have sent a few letters. So let's just wait a little bit longer.
I don't know if I can, but for you, I'll wait. I'll wait for Rogers one more week. But
hey, listen, Rogers, you don't want to be in the banned from Winnipeggers list. Just check that out right there. So you better watch it.
I just gotta say something though. What if Lester wants to come on? Like, should we really be black? He's just caught in the crossfire, I guess.
Hey, this is chicken and the egg. You know which one's who's zooming who on this thing.
Lester's high school prof only. That's it.
But thanks to the great Abdul Malik, all the way from Saudi Arabia, for making that awesome banner. And we've got a lot of great fans here because in the last few weeks, since we did Ribo's Ringo idea of what was it called? Not True or Farce. What was it? The improv invitational. Huge numbers. Our last 3 shows have been 3 of our biggest numbers ever. So we want to thank you guys for that. And a lot of people really responded to the songs you almost know the words from last week. And I did something that we've never done before. I went and looked at the YouTube comments, and we got some good ones there. My favorite show on YouTube. Whoa, that guitar. That's that steel guitar you had. That was a cool episode. Thank you guys. That's nice to hear. So funny. And there's another thing I want to show you that we were talking about from Blinded by the Light. And Rybo, what was the line that we were confused about?
We thought that it was wrapped up like a douche. Another runner
Right.
in the night.
And they were wondering what wrapped up like a deuce is. Dirty deeds done to sheep. Okay, that's not the same one, but that's pretty funny. Dirty deeds done to sheep. Okay, that's good. Gotta love the weenies. I guess we're the weenies right now, unless we're talking about Halloween, which I doubt. But there is a typical Irvass. No idea what I'm doing here, but there is actually it's this one here. We'll find it right here. It says wrapped up like a deuce is a reference to a fast car engine.
It's actually, Russ actually texted me, our good friend Russ, and he said it's a deuce coupe.
That's the Beach Boys, the old Beach Boys.
And there, John Belinda says, I think the deuce was a hot rod. So that solves the mystery of what the deuce was.
Revved up like a deuce.
Wrapped up like a deuce. So we thank you guys for all making those comments there. And we've never really looked at that before. And there was one other little cool comment right here, which was, thanks, guys. Had a blast. Oh, Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, but the chair is not my son. And Hinder's Lips of an Angel. My cousin, the next room. Sometimes I wish she was you. I don't know what Hinder's Angel sounds like, but I'm sure it's really funny stuff there. Yeah. But always good to hear from the family, the Winnipeggers family out there. And we have a special guest this week. I don't know if you guys know that.
No.
He reached out to be on this show. We're talking about the master of the funk, the innovator of funk music himself, Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton, here with the Winnipeggers.
Yo, this is George Dr. Funkenstein Clinton for the Winnipeggers, book by Art. They say, please announce our show Friday. My comedy troupe, the Winnipeggers, Speewee, Rebo, and Ives got the funk, and we are ready to entertain. Have some fun with it, George. We don't take much serious. Good. Yo, if you got funk, you got style. You're funkin' and you're styling all the while. If you got funk, you got class. You're out on the floor moving your ass. What's happening? P-Funk here wishing you a happy show when you do it.
Oh,
Y'all
man.
got the funk. You know you got the funk face to face. The funk got your back. Like I say, if you got funk, you got style. Funk on, my dudes. Funk 'em up.
Very, very cool.
One nation under a groove. Getting down just for the funk of it. One nation and you're on the move. Nothing can stop you now. The comedy troupe, y'all. Funk on. Roof.
Oh, man. I somehow wish he went for the whole 30 minutes. Good night, everyone.
It's funny because I'm such a moron. I actually did an edit to get rid of that where you could tell he's pulling a chong and reading what he's supposed to be reading. Like, a book by Art. Like, I actually edited that out, but like a dummy. Wrapped up like a deuce.
Played the wrong one.
I played the wrong one after I spent literally half an hour trying to edit the damn thing. But I will say this. Listen, I never thought I'd ever see George Clinton's porch.
That's true.
No,
yeah, that was really cool.
And I don't know if he made up that song for us or whatever, but that was pretty cool. George Clinton sang us a funk song.
That was very cool.
That's a
Breezy group.
Funkadelic tune.
That's a Funkadelic tune, Rybo?
Yeah, and those guys did so much acid. It's ridiculous that guy could even say the word Rebo. Or Arvash. You got Speewee.
Whatever. How did he get Speewee right, but pronounce Rebo and Ivis?
Ivis.
He can only read one word at a time, and then he has an acid flashback. He doesn't even know what's going on.
The best part, too.
Like Bootsy Collins played with him, and he says he can't remember the 70s or the 80s.
Well, have you ever met Bootsy?
No, did you?
I met Bootsy once, and he told me how he used to get fined by James Brown. And he was like, first of all, he's like 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
With his platform boots and his giant top hat that's like 2 or 3 feet. And dude, he is super out of it, but just exactly what you would want Bootsy Collins to be. Like, you know how when we first saw George Clinton, he didn't have his big, like, crazy hair. So you're like, oh, he doesn't actually really do that. Yeah. Bootsy really does that.
I saw him in LA at a hotel once, and he was, he was dressed up in the full regalia. Like, he's like, did you borrow those, clothes from Elton John, but make them bigger somehow? Like,
yeah, exactly. Right.
Crazy.
But very, very cool to have, the master of the funk with us tonight. Cool. And one more thing before we get to our show, which is camping. Let's go camping. We got a great advertiser this week. We heard it last week when we talked about the songs you almost know the words to. This is Falcon Lake. And here it goes.
Falcon Lake. There we go. Good.
Fire, have a wiener. Put it in a bun and relish the moment. Falcon Lake. Swim in the lake, jump in the lake, bathe and shower. You can even pee in the lake. Who cares? You're camping. Live a little bit. Falcon Lake. Falcon Lake. Falcon Lake.
You're having some fun with that one, eh?
Yeah, that was great.
All right, let's go camping. This one was written by Dave. And what was your idea behind this one, Dave?
Well, I was just trying. We need ideas. If anybody has any, send them to dspivak at AOL.com. Just kidding. We camping is probably a story. And we used to do a lot of camping in our 20s, for sure. And when we were teenagers, not so much anymore. But so I'm really going back and thinking about the camping and the experience of everybody gets together and they reserve the spots. And you sit in there and it's kind of like, well, what do you do now? So you just get super loaded. And that's what camping was. Maybe you play some frisbee, you do some stupid shit. I mean, I definitely did a lot of dumb stuff on camping trips that were, I guess, considered legendary in that whole Animal House type idiocy.
Well, tell us, kick us off with one.
Well, throw a photo up, and I'll probably be able to just start.
You want me to pick the photos?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sent me about 18 photos.
Yeah, but it was the last email.
Yeah, the last one he sent, he said these are the best ones.
Priority.
Priority ones. So confirm. So I'm just going to choose right here. We're jumping right in. There you go. You want one, you got it. You want blood, you got it.
Okay, all right. This is Jesus, man.
Well, you wanted it.
Oh, a young Spivak. Look at the body on him.
Nice package, dude.
Well, that's a good looking boy. It's yeah. So that would have been camping outside of on Lenore Lake. Ryan, is that some Eleanor Lake? Eleanor Lake. That was right around 5 a.m. If you zoomed in on the eyes, it would tell the whole story. We can move on from that photo if you don't mind.
I have the bulkhead pretty good. You had a hot body back then, Dave.
Thanks to I could still probably pull a little bit of that off. I got in an accident in December and I dislocated my collarbone. The fans would remember, and I broke my left hand. I haven't been able to work out, but I don't eat a lot of sugar and I don't take in a lot of carbs.
You had a birthday.
I had a birthday, so I was 1 foot closer to death, but I'm getting through it. But yeah, camping was always just super fun. I have some photos there of me with a flashlight in my mouth. Everyone's like, "Hey, put a flashlight in your mouth." I'm like, "Okay." And, just stupid things. You're sitting there, you're bored. That was one of those RCMP flashlights. And, that was a lot of fun. I remember doing that.
Story? You put a flashlight in your mouth for the hell?
Yeah, that's it. It was boring. You sit in a lot. I got a way better story
about you doing something like that. It's got nothing to do with camping. It's got you singing a Tom Jones song where you started giving head to the microphone at karaoke in Ottawa.
I don't recall that. Oh, Ryan, and you
I was there. I was
there.
Yeah, you did like half a line. It's like, it isn't unusual to be, and he just went right for it and just forget the lyrics.
There's this week's GIF right there. Someone's gonna make.
Thank God, real family doesn't watch this.
That's why we all have a new family.
I think that the real family probably gave it. I know my dad gave it 1 or 2 tries. It's like, oh, you guys are yahoos. That's his big word.
Oh, for sure.
We're not for everybody.
That's for sure. Oh, okay. Well, that was at Hecla campground, Hecla Lake, and I was having a lot of fun there. That's me on the left, and I was always doing the little moon and things. And then there's another photo of me on the podium where there was an amphitheater, and I was doing little speeches, like sort of political speeches and things, just trying to rile up the crowd. And then I kept coming from out of the podium. I don't know if you have that photo, but I come outside the podium and I didn't have any pants on at all. And Cheryl Thorlickson there it is. And so I was naked underneath that, and I would talk and I would say some kind of big speech, and then I would walk out completely naked from the waist down. And Cheryl just kept taking photos, and I was very vodka infused. And I just remember thinking, like, God, did I do that shit earlier? And then I ended up grabbing her camera, and it was a big deal. I ended up taking it with Malcolm. I said, hey, come here, I got this. He goes, what's going on? I go, come in this tent. And I took it, and it was when they had 35 mil film, and if you exposed it to light, you would ruin the whole film. So I said, get the flashlight, shine it. And he goes, why? And he turns it on, and I open up the film, and I go, you're part of it. He goes, what? I go, don't say a word. I just exposed your film, as if I can have that crap getting out, buck naked, like not just mooning, everything, right? So... So anyway, he ended up having to go the next day with at the time his girlfriend Christy, and with all of them to the Narcisse snake pits, where Thorlickson kept saying, everybody get together for a group photo with that camera that we know is not even going to turn out. And Malcolm's there smiling and he turned me in, man. He goes, I can't do this anymore. Spivak exposed you to a flashlight because he was pissed off that he had ratted the camera and you were going to show it to people.
So Spivak exposed the camera when he finished exposing himself.
Yes. So Malcolm and I still laugh about that, and for about 6 months I wouldn't even talk to him. You turned against me. You should have had my back, right, traitor. But you know what? I got him back, and you know what? We went camping once, him and I, when we were 21 years old. We were going to move out to Alberta, and I was going to work at Lake Louise from Winnipeg. Okay, and we came out, and I got hired at some pro shop at Lake Louise, and him and his buddies were going to be lifties. And we spent the night in a campground. Remember, we're 21. We are stupid, okay? And this is Lake Louise in Alberta. It's like grizzly bears. There's wildlife everywhere. It's not like Manitoba where you see a squirrel and that's it for like a week.
Yeah, so, big wildlife.
Right. So we take out all our garbage, and we're like thinking that we're being really smart and environmentalists in 1992, right? And we these garbage bags, and we put them at the front of our campsite. And about 8 in the morning, the RCMP are yelling, wake up, wake up. And we get out of the tent. We're just hung over. We're like, what? They go, what do you think? We got garbage removal here? It was like we didn't put them in garbage cans. We tied them up and put them at the end of the driveway of the campsite.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of fun camping in our 20s. I remember Kev Ahoff, Ryan's brother, we dared him to do some hot sauce. I used to buy this death sauce. I couldn't believe what he did. I mean, I almost died for the joke of it. And just Lon throwing up in his... Yeah.
You don't have to tell all the stories in a row. I mean, if you save some.
Well, it's not a round robin, man. I mean, that's a different show, but it's, yeah.
Okay.
Lon puked in his mom's grand ham. It's such a bad story. I told him I was going to tell it, and he says, please don't. I said, the hell with you. It's about ratings. Let's tell the story. So he went into the car to go to sleep at midnight. He was so drunk, and he goes to lie down, and he's got the seat reclined, and I'm standing outside his car, and all I can hear is this noise like splashing. And I look, and he's been projectiling all over his windshield and side windows of the car. Like, disgusting. Okay, he ended up driving back to the city, windows down. He had to go to one of those little car washes, suck everything up through the cups, everything. Like, he lost like 100 lawn pounds, which is like 300 pounds. Just kidding, buddy. But lawn's ripped these days, for real.
So my camping stories aren't involving drunkenness. My camping stories are involving me and my dad, which is when we used to go camping. I won't go camping now, get no interest, whatever. And we had great times drinking and camping. But so I remember 3 distinct camping trips with my dad, and they all ended up in some form of disaster. And I literally remember this. We went on a camping trip with the St. Louis Blues. So it was like, and the Blues took their sons. This is probably 1975, 1976. I remember the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald was a really big song back then.
Big hit in the locker room as the team falls asleep to it.
And my dad used to smoke a pipe, and not a hash pipe, like an actual pipe with cherry, like, and like 8 other guys this team did. So Red Berenson was one of the guys. Bobby Plager was one of the guys. They all had their little sons. So we were. And this is like in St. Louis is obviously Missouri. So if you go kind of into the woods of Missouri, this is literally where they filmed Deliverance. So those type of people are real. Like ding, 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 Martin Short.
Oh, we know.
Yeah. So I remember literally like we're old school with the canoe and the oars, and you're like this and you're like that and like this. And I'm 5 or 6. What the hell am I doing? But you're sitting there with your dad, and maybe I think Red Berenson and his little kid. And then there was hillbillies on the shore shooting, not at us, but just shooting over our heads, like literal fucking deliverance hillbillies. So we're going down. I vividly remember this. We're going down the rapids, and what do you think happens? The fucking canoe tips over. And so, like, I'm 5. Red Berenson's kid is 5. I think his name is Rusty, Red and Rusty. Get it? And so I remember all the pots and pans were floating down the river next to us, all of the supplies, and like we're swimming. And I'm like 5. Thank God I had a pool, and I swam to the shoreline. I grabbed a branch, and I pulled myself onto the shore. And my dad's like, Chris. I'm like, Dad, and he's across the river.
With
and
a
I
pipe
with anthrax. He's across the river the other side, and the canoe's floating down the river, and all of our supplies are gone.
Oh no!
So somehow, like, we had to walk to go follow me down. Like, go walk, and we're walking down to where you can finally like walk across some area or something. And we were done. We had no supplies. Everything was wet. It was all gone. And like, there's nothing left for you, Teddy. You guys got to go home. So we had to go back down to the Blazer and drive home, and trying to tell my mom what happened. I'm sure he came up with some doozy, but I was not ready to that one.
The visual I have of Ted smoking a pipe as he's yelling at you that he's also in a robe, I see, for some reason.
He's in some sweatpants and property of the St. Louis Blues shirt.
He's wearing his fur coat.
Yeah. And then the other one is, if you guys remember the White Shell, there used to be like a rock slide, like a natural rock slide. You guys remember this?
Yeah, I do. I can't remember. Yeah. But I do remember.
You would climb up kind of a hill, and you would get on a stream that would take you down like a natural water slide that was a rock formation, and the rock was really smooth because the water had been running down it. So I got on like between my dad's legs. I was probably same age, 4 or 5. And as we're going down, I was too light. So I went to the left and he went to the right. So there's like, I'm with my dad, and then suddenly I'm going down this fucking rock formation by myself and no idea where I'm going. Where's my dad? He went over here, and I land in the water, and same thing happens where he lands in the water on the other side of the river. And it's like, Chris, you okay? I'm like, what kind of a fucking camping dad are you? This is terrible.
The best is you're the only person there that doesn't have a full buzz on.
Sounds like he was trying to get away from you, actually, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, Chris, you didn't die. Hi, son.
Why don't you just walk over there? I'm going to go over here and
look at that pipe.
And then the last one was, and this is the one that got him in trouble. I think we were able to father and son it for the other ones, but the one was we went camping, and then he made craft dinner, but he didn't have any white milk left, so he made it with chocolate milk. And I still remember eating craft dinner with chocolate milk in it. And when I told my mom that, she flipped out on my dad, caused a huge problem. It's like, you didn't stooge me off for the canoe tipping over or going down the rock formation by yourself. You stooged me off for the chocolate craft dinner. And that's what got me in trouble. Yeah. So, if Teddy Irvin ever asked you to go camping with him, you maybe might not want to go.
Well, normally KD is really healthy, but you make it with chocolate milk, and then it's.
Just imagine what would chocolate cheese taste like. That's a terrible idea, Dad.
Wow,
awful idea. Rival
powdered milk or something if you want to do that.
Powdered milk at 1982 inflation.
Well, like you said, see, I do enjoy camping now, and I never went when I was a kid. Like, my parents never took me or anything like that. But my partner and I have gone on many canoe trips, and like when you go on canoe trips, like you said, when your canoe tips over and you got your pots and pans and all your supplies are floating down the river, you're screwed. And if you're way out in the middle of nowhere, there's no one that's going to help you, right? So you got to make sure you plan everything really good. You got to have all your stuff.
Yep.
Everything's just you guys just drink while I tell my story. And you got to have everything in your, Ziploc bags and everything airtight. Make sure you don't forget anything. It takes like a whole day to prepare all the stuff you need to do. You need to talk to everybody else that you're going with. Make sure you're not bringing
it's a pain in the ass,
3
man.
pans or something like that. You got to bring the one, right? So, but that's not how it always was. we used to go camping, like you said. It used to be early camping for us equals drink fest. So
Yeah.
the first time I ever went camping was Gimli Icelandic Festival. I didn't bring a sleeping bag. I didn't bring a tent. My buddy had a tent. I brought 12 pack of hot dogs, no buns, 2-4
like brother.
Yeah, pretty much. Whatever, 2-4 a beer and a 2-6 of Malibu rum and 4-liter jug of orange juice. And boy, were those first couple drinks of Malibu rum with orange juice great.
Yeah.
The third and fourth were okay. And after that, it was absolutely disgusting.
To be young again, where there wasn't such a thing like hemorrhoids, I would just love to sit down and drink 4 liters of orange juice and a big cannon of vodka.
Yay. So anyway, that time I showed up, I didn't even have a sleeping bag or anything. And I was just I ended up sleeping in the bag that the tent came in.
And it was a 2-man tent.
And you could fit in it. Man,
it was like that hard
paid off.
Hard like burlap where you lift it up and it doesn't even sag. It's just it's super hard, but I knew I wasn't going to do much sleeping anyway. But so anyway, the next time we went to Falcon Lake. And this time I wasn't much more prepared. It was a May long weekend. Everyone was going to Falcon Lake, and myself and Matt Hanna weren't going.
Must have rained. May long weekend always rained.
It always rained, but people went to Falcon. Everything was going on. We're like, we're not going to go. And then it's after school, and we're like, hey, what's going on this weekend? Everyone was going. We're like, man, we got to go. We should just go. And we're like, what? Everyone's already left. We don't have a ride or anything. How are we going to get a ride? So our friend Kathy Matchett of the Matchetts was working at was it Canadian Tire? I think Safeway, someone like that. So we went in line. I think it was Canadian Tire, and we went there.
Let's find out. Let's call her up right now.
Let's call her up and see, hey, where did you work in 1989? And so we bought
show
a
hits
couple
rock
bolts.
bottom.
Bought a couple bolts or something, and had a flower. Said, hey, can we get a ride with you to Falcon Lake? She's like, well, I'm off in an hour. If you guys can get ready by then. We're like, no problem. So we got an hour to get ready. So what are we gonna get? Of course, there's no sleeping bag, no pillow. No, we're just wearing the Canadian tuxedo, jeans and a jean jacket. No overnight clothes, nothing. We ended up buying a frozen pizza, McCain frozen pizza. Didn't turn out very well over a fire. You think, wood-fired pizza?
How's that supposed to work?
I don't know. We thought it might work, but we also bought a kubasa. So we got this big, huge honking. They had restaurants there.
You were always the funniest with sausage. The way that you would pretend that it was so.
Oh
crazy.
Yeah, just like you with
crazy.
Flashlights, buddy. Anyway,
at Payback
and microphones.
Yeah, and whatever else he can get his hands on.
Learned it from the best.
So anyway, so we got that's what we have. And we go out there and we're sitting there and having a pretty good time. This guy next to us, this family guy who's just chopping wood all day, so that he's gonna have wood for the whole
James
weekend.
Brolin from Amityville next door, just chop. Remember that? That's when he was possessed by the devil. All he does is chop wood. There's nice. 3 huge.
That's the next.
scenes.
That's the next show, Dave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so he's just chopping wood all day. He goes to bed, and then there's me and Matt who don't have a place to sleep or anything. So we're just gonna stay up all night, right? So we're sitting there. We ended up burning all that guy's wood, and we ran out of that. And he would have woken up the next day and just been like, "What the? I swear there was a huge pile of wood here." We were burning garbage. We were just styrofoam. We're throwing it in there, just hey, there's probably a hole in the ozone right up there. I remember that
at Spewy.
And so anyway, at one point it's 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Everyone's gone to bed. We're fucking freezing. We're out of firewood. There's nothing. There's nowhere to go. We're fucking freezing. So we're like, what are we gonna do? I don't know what we're gonna do. So we go to the can, and they have in the bathroom there. They have we take turns with the hot air dryer. Press it on, and you're like this, warming yourself up there. As soon as it goes off, the next guy's turn.
Don't work for it, brother.
Trying to warm himself up, and we were just passing this Cuba saw back and forth, which is disgusting. Now. It's disgusting. So at one
Go
point,
back to the grappa.
At one point, there's a knock at the door, and it's some girl who's camping, and she's like, "What are you guys doing in there?" It's like, "Oh, just trying to stay warm." And she's like, "Well, the girls' can is locked. Can I come in here and use the bathroom?" Like, oh, okay. So we go outside, and we're sitting there waiting. She's taking forever, and we're just like, "What's going on?" And then we realize that we left the big Cuba saw just on the counter there. She's like, what are these two guys doing in the can with the big giant Kubasov for the last
Don't worry
hour?
about it.
Don't worry about it. Just some karaoke. No big deal.
It isn't unusual. Anyway, so that was pretty funny. And so after that, I think someone woke up and we begged them that if we could just sleep in their car for the night. And I think that's pretty much how my initiation to camping was, those first 2 trips.
That's great,
So
man. The hairdryer story is the best. I could just see everybody warms up for 3 minutes and they're back at it. You're no different than your brother, though. I went camping with him so many times, and he would bring a lawn chair and a pack of Burns Wieners, and it would be pouring rain May long weekend, and he'd be in the worst 2-man tent ever designed and just sitting at 5 in the morning. It's like, where did Kev go, man? No one's up. And I'd go, Kev, are you still up? He goes, kinda. And I'd look, and he's just sitting in a chair inside his tent. Like, talk about actually probably more comfortable than being on the ground. God, I hate camping.
When I went with him, he brought literally a tinfoil wrapper with leftover roast beef in it. And that was it. No, just a tinfoil, like, I got some roast beef. No, he's not rocking. That's all he had. So.
Well, see, that's when he used to make a mouth sandwich where you just take some meat, put some mustard in there, maybe an onion or something, piece of lettuce,
A couple Burns Wieners and 2 cartons of Demorier Light.
Yeah. I did. It used to be called Loser's Lunch. Guys, this is another one we're gonna have to do a part 2 on. It's unbelievable. These shows go by so fast. Great stories, great time. Thanks to the amazing innovator of funk, George Clinton.
Awesome.
And thanks to Falcon Lake for sponsoring us. Be sure to go to the lake. You can swim in the lake. You can shower in the lake. You can pee in the lake. You live a little. That's what it says in the advertisement. We could do a part 2 for this show. I feel like there's so much more we can get.
Oh, well, we have to because we're out of fresh ideas. Part 2's
You
all
keep
day
saying
long.
that. There's so many ideas.
Okay, well, you come up with them next 10 then.
I came up with 10 already. I gave 3 of them during this show. I texted you.
I sold 3 to another company. I had some, but I sold them.
Does that Cheese Dick? You sent 3 to Cheese Dick, and they're gonna get back to you. Just pay $680, Speed, and they'll play them for you.
I've been selling all our shticks.
Thanks to the family. Don't forget to go to prowrestlingtees.com/Chris Jericho for your Winnipeggers t-shirts. And we got lots of fan mail to read next week. And next week's show is going to be about the Cheap Ass Club, which is our club that we had throughout our life watching bad horror movies. And wait till you see the guests I got lined up for this one. If you think George Clinton was good, you just wait.
Well, we never know. That's the exciting thing. We never know. We never know what you're going to show, and we love that. Hey, everybody, check out the Winnipeggers shirt, too. You got to pick this up, and that's at wrestlingtees.com. Or something like that, and that's our faces, and you can actually say, listen, I watch these idiots and I wear their clothes. It's a pretty cool thing, and it's I've said this a million times, very good quality. It could edit a bad show. It's such great quality.
Rybo could actually sleep in that next time he goes camping. Look like inside of it.
That'd be a
Good night,
good
guys.
idea.